She gave me a very disgusting look. Like, guys, if looks could kill at that moment, I'm sure the looks could have killed me. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ride with Tinu. My name is Atinuke Mati Shobo, and if this is your first time of clicking to watch my video, I produce quality entertaining content and I run commentaries as well, and today's topic is one of them. So from the thumbnail and the title of my video, yes, let me go straight ahead to explain how this happened. I went for a function, a birthday party of one of my colleagues' child that is celebrating 1 year birthday. So I went with my children, and the party was already over. So I stopped by to greet a senior colleague of mine, and while I just, she was sitting down and I went over to her, and then I was just like, exchanging pleasantries with my children behind me. They were just waiting for me, and while I was speaking with her, I just felt an abrupt touch, like tap, behind me, and I was shocked. I was like, who tapped me like that? And then I now turned and I looked. Lo and behold, it was a very little girl. This girl, she was so little. I think she's like maybe 7 years of age, maybe 6 to 7 years of age. Yes, at most 8, I would say. And then I looked at my my senior colleague, a fellow parent, and I was like, wow, what is? And then I turned and I looked at her. She said, excuse. I was like, oh my god, this girl didn't just say that to someone who is older and old enough to be her mom. So I looked back at her with compassion. Yes, with compassion. I must emphasize on the word compassion. I said next time you don't do that. I'm like, instead of tapping abruptly like in a rude manner, you can be like, excuse me ma'am, instead of excuse. So I was just telling my colleague, I said, these kids, one needs to correct them so that she doesn't grow up repeating the same thing again. And then while I was just saying that, I glanced to my left and I saw a woman that was sitting, and she probably was aware of the whole situation, and she gave me a very disgusting look. Like, guys, if looks could kill at that moment, I'm sure the looks could have killed me. Then I was like, wow, why is this woman looking so disgusted at me? Then I started to put 1 plus 1 together, and I started to figure out that, okay, wait, could it be that she's the child's mother? And I remember I was like, I wanted to almost ask, but I don't know how she could take it. Because I'm like, wait, are you her mom? Because I was feeling, wait, so is it that this person is actually offended that her child is being corrected by somebody? Because I don't know her, I don't know the kid. So I was now like, when I got home, I started to ponder upon these things, and I'm like, wait, what could be the reaction of that woman? Why was she frowning? Of course, the little child is innocent. The little child might not have been taught about, manners, whether to elders or to your mates or to your younger ones. But my major concern now was the attitude of the supposed mom. That was my major concern, and I was like, and this necessitated this video. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out and ask 1 or 2 people how they would feel or how they would react if their kids are being corrected by strangers. Because to me, I didn't even see it as a big deal. I felt that if my child was to be corrected by a stranger, of course in a compassionate way, because to be very candid, I was not harsh in any way. I never scolded the child, I never shouted. I just bent down and said, I said, next time you just go, excuse me ma, did I do wrong? Well, I'm gonna find out by doing a little vox pop as I drive around town and find out what other parents think. So you stay with me and watch this video till the end as we uncover some things. Thank you. I'm at a kind of popular park and I want to find out the views about parents and, you know, accepting corrections from strangers. So let's go right ahead and find out the opinion of this parent. So good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Well
madam.
done, sir. Yeah, I just wanted to find out, you know, the issue about correcting children. So for instance, you're with your child in public and a stranger corrects your child. What would be your reaction?
What are you talking about correction here? Automatically, that child would have done something wrong before he would be corrected. So I think I would feel it's normal. The child is not just for me, it's for everyone. So just a parent cannot train his child.
What if the correction happens to be in a harsh way? How are you going to contain the situation?
Well, that calls for question actually. It depends. This is my child and it depends on how old the child. If the child is maybe below the age of 18 and you correct him in a very harsh way, I would caution you, the correction. I will caution you. Even if you to correct my child, but that will be not in the defense of the child actually. I'll do that later. Even if you to correct my child, this way.
So we've gotten the opinion of one parent. I'm heading down south to find out more opinions. So a proud father of two. React if a stranger corrects your child in public. Let me give you this scenario. Like your child did something to another adult. Maybe you guys are in an occasion. Okay. So your child did something to another adult. Okay. And so the adult now at that instant decides to correct your child and say, no, don't do it that way. Tell me, as a parent, would you be very comfortable at that instant?
Nothing bad, I'm comfortable. I'll be comfortable. I'm the part of the world that says one man give birth to a child, community take care of them.
Exactly. But let me tell you something, let me chip in. What if that correction was done in a very harsh way? How would you react as a parent?
Though if it's done in an harsh way, I would just walk up to the person in a gentle voice. I like the way you correct my child, but next time.
Oh, hello, mommy. You look so beautiful. Yes. You know, mommy, how many kids do you have first?
I have 3.
Oh, 3 beautiful kids. Can you tell me if anything like that have ever happened? Maybe somebody correcting your child that you don't know,
Yes.
and you were there? Please,
Yes.
can you share me your story, ma?
Got one day like that, my boy did something wrong, and one of my neighbor beat him. I did not even quarrel because he come and tell me, "Mommy, I see what he might did." I said, "Oh, thank you," because this boy is not hearing word, but thank you for your correction. I did not take any angry, did not do anything because I know that it's a lesson.
Yes, ma, I agree with you. Thank you so very much. Have you ever had the experience of a stranger correcting your child in the public, in your presence?
Yes.
Please, can you share it with us? Can you tell us how it went?
No, this my little boy is now 2 years and
Good man. Okay.
so sometimes maybe if you're in the church, he doesn't used to stay in one place. So some of my colleagues in the church, like some women, they may now draw him. No, he's a stubborn child. They will now draw him closer to them. So I come and sit down. He will start crying. She will start, when he will be crying, be looking at me for me to say something. I will not say anything because I know that what she did, what he's doing is not right. You understand me?
Yes.
So it's a correction that they are giving. I'm not supposed to keep offense because I know that what he's doing is not the right thing. You see, as a mother, I'm not supposed to keep it, take it as an offense. Person cannot raise a child. You understand
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Only one person cannot raise a child.
Two kids, Olivia and King William. It is normal correction with verbal talk. I think I will appreciate it, but not to the extent of beating my child. I think I'm not the only one to teach my daughter or my son a moral. I believe outside that too, they can. The person in question and ask him what is the issue or what happened that lead him or her to raise hand on my daughter or my son. So if it is what, if you give me good, what is it called? A good reason, I think we are good to go. Then I will also, in his presence, I will also correct my daughter as well. So tell her that this thing that you did is not good. Next time, don't try it outside again.
A girl or a boy? Okay. A girl or a boy?
A girl.
Okay. Just imagine you're going with Flourish, or you're in an occasion, you and Flourish, and then Flourish interacted with an adult. You understand what I mean? And then that adult was not so pleased with the way Flourish interacted with her. Maybe that adult felt Flourish was a bit rude, and then the adult went ahead in your presence to correct Flourish. Is this something that you'll be comfortable with?
Well, honestly, I would say yes, I'm okay with it, because first of all, she's a child, she's not supposed to interact with her in such manner. And secondly, it depends on the tone the adult is using to correct the child. If she's using a nice tone, it's no problem, but if she's using a harsh tone, I mean, I would take offense. I mean, you can't just shout. There's no way you can correct a child by shouting or screaming at the child.
The truth is, I wouldn't really be very comfortable with it, because I'll feel like the best thing you should have done is to speak to me about what my child has done, so that I will correct my child personally. I wouldn't want somebody, I wouldn't want somebody to bully my child or make my child feel a certain kind of way. I prefer my children feeling very comfortable in whatsoever they are doing. So when you tell me about what my child has done, I think I should work more on correcting the child. I would prefer that.
Okay, I want to just ask one more question. Is there an incident where this happened that somebody corrected your child? You know, can you tell me if there is such had happened before and how you were able to handle it?
The honest truth is, I don't go out with my children.
Well, as you can see, the day is already dark. I spent so much time in, you know, gathering information from people, and it's after 7, but you know, I will still have to film and wrap up this video. But collecting opinions from those people, if you can hear from them, a lot of people were of the opinion that they wouldn't, as a matter of fact, feel offended. You know, and some of them raised the point that, you know, my child can be corrected by anybody because I am not the only one to do the work to my child. So, have you ever heard of the saying, it takes a village to raise a child? I think that was an African proverb. It originated in Africa. I did some research in it and I found out that the origin is from Africa. And what does that mean? It means that the welfare of a child, how a child, you know, is faring, is not just for the parents alone, but for the community members, to make sure that the child is okay. And I think that also extends to you know, behavioral patterns, correcting behavioral patterns in children. So when they say it takes a village to raise a child, it means that as a parent, you cannot only do the job of raising your children. I'm a parent, I have 2 beautiful children, and you as a parent too, you can't do the job alone. I sincerely feel, you know, people would have different opinions, but me, I'm of the opinion that if others correct your children, I think it's a blessing, because sometimes we cannot see it all. We are all raised differently. We can't see it all. Although where I would have a problem with is where an adult is, you know, verbally abusing a child or physically abusing a child, you know, crossing the boundary, being harsh and bullying. That's the word, bullying. I would not tolerate bullying. But if you can give a practical approach in correcting the child and not just making the child feel like a failure, if you can correct the child in a very smooth way, then we are good to go. A lot of things are happening. The society is decaying. There is a moral decay. You know, some parents are even not helping matters, I'm sorry to say. I love the first interview, the first man's opinion, when he said that even if the adults corrected the child in a very harsh manner, he said, I would go and tell the adult, but of course in the absence of my child. That is, my child won't be there when I'm making that correction, that please next time you could use a better approach. Some parents, they don't even want anybody, like for example, we have cases that, okay, a child is being flogged and then goes home to tell the parent, and then the parent, out of annoyance, brings the child to the school and, you know, goes all haywire on the authority. Oh, they flogged my child and all of that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't see to the welfare of your child. If your child has so many bruises, of course, it is mandatory, but there is a way you should go about it, but not in the presence of the child. First of all, if your child is beaten in such a manner, ask the child what he or she did. Then when you ask the child, you can go to the school authority, but not in the presence of your child, scolding the teacher or demanding to, let all hell loose. You're giving that child confidence that, yes, I got you. You can do anything, whether it is right or wrong. We all learn every day. So that was why I decided to make this video. And I hope you that is watching this video is taking 1 or 2 points from this. So I want to make it my responsibility to see the welfare of the child beside me. If the child is not feeling happy, I want to be able to communicate with that child and know what is wrong. Because sometimes there are some things you would see that the parents are not seeing. But we should draw the line with bullying or molesting a child. That is not acceptable. But for correcting, I don't know. But I feel that it's left to the way, the approach in which the person would go through. So I hope you did enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoyed making this video. Please, what are your thoughts? Because you also are not left out in this opinion poll or vox pop. So drop your thoughts in the comments below on how you would react to a stranger correcting your child in the public, whether in a good way or in a harsh way. I just want to see your comments. Thank you for watching today's video. I'll see you in another video, another episode of Ride with Tinu, and I remain at Nukema Tishobo. Have a wonderful